The first time to speak, and we had 4 hours, the 48 hours of resistance, but downtown Atlanta, he held a space of over hundreds and hundreds of people. So let me remind us of the representatives.
How about you give this church a round of applause for that? Right?
Right.
First off to the church, let me apologize because I usually come in without my hat, but I spoke to Uncle Bobby, who was the father figure for Oscar Grant, and told him about this situation. So I'm representing Oakland as well as Georgia. Representing LA, representing Florida, representing Tulsa. The hits go on and on, all around the world, the same song, right? I operate as family spokesperson for Kendrick Johnson family. I operate as family spokesperson for Baby Boo Boo. When they don't need me, or when they need me, I operate as family spokesperson for the Nicholas Thomas family. Family spokesperson for Ariston Waiters. I mean, I got a lot of mothers and fathers and families in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit. I have an uncompromising and unapologetic approach to this fight for justice.
Yes.
Little just background on me real quick before I get into it. I started off by being the founder and former president for Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network and responsible for the acquisition of the Southeastern Regional Headquarters, but I've since moved on. I now operate as the founder and CEO of my own organization called Save Ourselves. If you know this, please repeat after me. And I know we're in the church, but we're going to be respectful.
Right.
Indict.
Indict.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict. Convict. Fill the cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
There's something about being in that procession, taking over the streets, watching those who don't have a clue or who don't give a damn throw like, what's going on? I mean, if you saw that, please raise your hand. What's going on? Laying on their horns. The time is now to make those uncomfortable in the places where they feel most comfortable. When I say I've since moved on, that's exactly what I mean. But I still got a lot of friends. Reverend Sharpton, I still consider him a friend. Some have criticism. Let that be what it be. I use the tools that I have before me in order to uplift and help our people.
Yes.
Some of y'all weren't feeling that. Some of y'all weren't feeling that. See, you don't have to, like we talked about this being a melting pot. Listen. Everybody in here will never sit down at the dinner table with everybody in here again. But you're in here for a reason because it's a common denominator. There's atheists lined up along the backsides of these church walls. This right here is a problem about the people. Y'all can fight over the spiritual and fight over the different denominations after we take care of this police brutality issue that we got. Baptist, AME, Presbyterian, I don't care what you are, black, white, red. They say this was supposed to be more of a somber tone. So I'm not into telling lies. But I got to share with you, I told one recently, and it's been bothering me. My 9-year-old son sits right there on the front row, along with my mother and my wife. My mother suffers from rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and is legally blind, but she can still bring herself down here. Or when you talk to your loved ones, ask them what the hell is their problem. Unapologetic approach to this thing. My 21-year-old son, I'm 40 years of age. I had him when I was 19. Someone said, Marcus, man, why you should be putting all your business out there? Trust me, they already know who I am. My 21-year-old son, with all the connections and all the work that I do around this country, posted on Facebook the other day. And first, let me make sure I say this. It took him years for him to even send his father a friend request on Facebook. Until 2 days ago, I had yet to post any comment on his page. But you know why I had to post? My 21-year-old son said, there's so much going on in the world, I don't feel safe as a young black man. And I didn't know I was lying to him at the time, but I commented and I said, you're well protected, in one of those winks with the smiley face. And I thought about it all night, and I want y'all to follow me on this. See, because I'm not just connected up at the top with the Attorney General and Rev Sharpton and Crump and others, and I ain't name dropping. Some people say, oh, you like, I ain't name dropping. I only got a small amount of time for you to really understand who I am, so hopefully I can spark something in some of y'all to make you want to join this train that I'm on. But I'm also connected to brothers and sisters whose names you'll never hear about, you'll never read about, and you will never see them in the paper because they live down in the gutters. And don't trip when I say gutters, because the people that we fight and crawl out the sewer. So what make you think some of the only goody goods are the only people that are in this fight? Crips, Bloods, GDs, MS-13s. A little too deep for some of y'all, but they uniting all across the country. I'm not going to get off topic, but I came in here dressed a certain way because I'm tatted all up, baseball cap on. But if I come suited and booted, y'all swear I was the next new smoking politician. I can go in places and you won't even know I'm there. It's a connection. Because this generation who is taking the streets are really the leaders of today, not the pulpit. My 21-year-old son said he doesn't feel safe. I said, you're well protected. Wink. Then I thought to myself, I said, damn, I've lied. My comment comes from, if something was to happen to my family, the connections and the will that I have to do something about it. But that don't mean he's well protected. He is not well protected because, truth be told, here in the United States of America, a young 21-year-old, he's a handsome-looking, articulate, outspoken man. He is a target. So let me take this moment in this church that is willing to open up their doors to apologize to you, son, and apologize to you, son, and apologize to all of the young, black, brown, melanated people of this country, because you didn't ask to come here, but you now are part of a problem that is so deep-seated in this country, and I apologize. Now, my apology is in the spirit of fighting against this system. I'll say that one more time. My apology is in the spirit of fighting against this system. I've got 2 or 3 other points to make, and then I'll sit down. As I apologize to my son, there's a lot of recognition and publicity that has taken place off of the young mother out in Baltimore that knocked her son silly on national television. I'm going to say this, and please don't take me as being a racist, because I'm far from that. I fight against them. But I've never seen so many white folks and other folks cheer for child abuse. I say that one more time. I've never seen so many people cheer for child abuse. Let me say this. I'm always thinking deeper than level one. There are a lot of other people that are wordsmiths. You might hear more dictionary field words come out of their mouth other than me. But I'm a deep, deep thinker. The problem with praising this mother, I stand here before you as a parent and have my mother in front of me. I totally understand the need to protect your children from harm. It's deeper than that. They used the image of this mother as an example to say what he was contributing to, what he was involved in, was the wrong type of action. Let's keep it real. There's some of you that are sitting next to folks that didn't clap. There's some of you sitting next to folks like, what's he talking about? Let me say this. You first better understand the will and the pulse of this generation. You better understand their pain and their frustration. And you better understand why he was out there before you beat that out of him. Now, hindsight's 20/20, you know. Of course, I can't really say whether she would take that back, because I've seen her now on the Celebrity being on every single show that there is, so you go figure that. But the spirit of that young man needs to be applauded. The spirit of the young people that are taking the streets needs to be applauded. Let me go somewhere else with it. If I see one more of y'all jump up and down and celebrate just because they done charged 6 officers, I think I'm going to vomit on this one. See, I like the mixed reaction. I love looking at the crowds and looking at the mixed reaction. Where is he coming from? We thought he was cool. We thought he was this. We thought he was that. We, as a people, have been conditioned to expect less here in this country. It's something asinine about cheering as if a victory has happened in the halftime locker room. I'm also a head coach of collegiate football, so I throw that in there sometimes. I say that again. Those of you that are in charge of teams, you don't cheer until the game is over. You don't cheer until there's 0 seconds on the clock. And a matter of fact, I don't care if we get a conviction on every single charge. Less than 24 hours in every day, black and brown people are killed here in this country. By no means am I telling you that we are not supposed to be uplifted in spirit when there is positive news in progress. I'm not saying that. You got to go deeper than level one. But how can I cheer when I'm wearing the shirt from Kendrick Johnson and the hat from Oscar Grant and I'm talking to the family of Nicholas Thomas after I just hung up with the mother of baby Boo Boo? How can I cheer? I'll leave that up to y'all. So please, if you see somebody that is doing the cheering, explain to them why they might need to keep that game face on. Because one thing is for sure, those that we fight against don't never take a day off. And the minute they see you doing it, let me get to it. I want to hold the mic. Baby Boo Boo. That case has gone international. And we've also been on some national television shows. I love the fact that that is catching on, because all it does is give me a wider audience to spread the message. Sometimes they don't let me speak. I often wonder why is that. Baby Boo Boo on the 15th of this month, so make sure that all like-minded spirits and bodies understand this. We meet Attorney Davis. Y'all need to just, I know he just left, but give it up for the Davis Bozeman Law Firm. I'm careful when I praise firms and pastors and politicians, because there's a lot of slick and crooked people in that profession, in those professions, right? They always get nervous when I touch the mic, because they don't ever know what no secret I'm going to let out about it. May 15th, Boom Comfort Savant. We are on the path of getting justice for this family. It has been recently announced that there has been $1 million settlement that has been paid out to this family. I think that deserves just a little bit of round of applause. Don't applaud too long, because most of that $1 million went to the unpaid medical bills that the Sheriff's Department refused to pay. So we are still pushing for charges against officers in Habersham County, and there will be an update on May 15th about that. Last thing before I go, I'm going to pass the little bit that I have out. Let me just give out a phone number. And please, if you're concerned with the Kendrick Johnson case, please take out your phone, take this number down, text this number, and ask for a flyer. If you're concerned with the Kendrick Johnson case, please take out your phone, write this number down. 404-964-1223. Again, that's 404-964-1223. For those I see that's not putting it in your phone, Lord have mercy. If something ever happened to your friend or family, you're going to be looking for someone to write a number down. Right. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Kendrick Johnson. If you don't know the story of Kendrick Johnson, raise your hand. If you don't know the story of Kendrick, Lord have mercy. Let me run this real quick. 17 years old, Kendrick Johnson, 2 years ago, went to Lowndes County High School down in Valdosta, Georgia. Went to school wearing a book bag. The next day, he was wheeled out of the gymnasium in a body bag. Kendrick Johnson's body was found in a rolled up wrestling gym mat in the corner of the gymnasium. There was a quick investigation where the Sheriff's Department of Lowndes County High School, so you ain't got to go to Florida, Oakland, Detroit, New York. You can get some of that good old home cooking police brutality right here in Georgia. Sheriff's Department, what was that? His orders were missing when they found him. Let me build up, let me get to that. We got sisters that don't even know. Found dead in a rolled up wrestling mat. Investigation happened, done by the Sheriff's Department. Cause of death, official cause of death, positional asphyxiation. They said that Kendrick climbed up the bleachers and crawled into a mat where the diameter was 4.5 inches less than the width of his shoulders. I think when you got infants and toddlers, you teach them that you cannot put a square peg in a round hole. That's number one. When the family, let me rewind. Kendrick's nails, all 10 of his nails were cut down to the point beyond bruising. The clothes that Kendrick was wearing the day that he was killed have never been found. Right? Surveillance cameras within the school system, all 6 miraculously stopped working around the time that would have showed people coming in and out of the gymnasium. And when the family exhumed their loved one's remains, they did a second autopsy Second autopsy conflicted the first, that he died of blunt force trauma, which is parallel to the original EMT's report when they first picked up Kendrick's body, in which the coroner was called 6 hours to the scene too late. The coroner actually contacted CNN and asked him to remove the fact that he stated that he was called 6 hours late. And like the sister screamed from the pews, Kendrick was missing every major organ in his body. No brain, no heart, no lung, so on and so forth. His tongue and windpipe were removed. And for y'all smart ones out there, no, he wasn't an organ donor. No, his parents didn't donate his organs for scientific research. Some feel like black market organ smuggling. Some feel like organs were removed in order not to prove the actual cause of death. Go figure. We're approaching 17 months for a full-blown federal investigation by the name of Kendrick Johnson. Why am I so stuck on Kendrick? Not just because I love Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, but because as we run around the country and mobilize and get national attention for Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner, and they deserve it. At least you know the officer or officers that killed those individuals or the vigilantes that killed those individuals. The first medical exam was done, or the autopsy was done in the GBI lab, so the GBI is on charge. Say on charge. On charge. On charge. On charge. There have been reports right here in the local AJC on the front page, and this is their reporting, that out of the Middle District of Georgia, Michael Moore is the U.S. Attorney out of that district. He has named 3 people in a target letter. And I repeat, because I deal around with a lot of attorneys, this is public record. I'm repeating what is in the public. There are 3 people, and they all have the last name of Bell. A local FBI agent and his 2 sons. So say the FBI is on charge. On charge. On charge. On charge. I already told you about the bogus investigation with the loss of evidence, such as his clothing, with cutting the fingernails down, loss of the organs, positional asphyxia, all by the Sheriff's Department of Lowndes County. So say, on charge. On charge. I already told you about the surveillance footage that is mysteriously missing. That falls in the hands of the school and the local school superintendent's office. So please say on charge. On charge. I've already hit you with the school superintendent's office, the GBI, the FBI, the Sheriff's Department. And we ain't even got to who killed Kendrick Johnson yet. So you wonder why I run around and I scream about justice for KJ. You wonder why I run around and say that when we say Black Lives Matter, don't forget the name Kendrick Johnson. Because if you want to be a part of something historic, I suggest you jump on this midnight train to Georgia that's headed right to Valdosta.
Truth take a long time.
Young folks, I applaud you. I salute you. And as one that's in between, you know, y'all might call me elder or elder, pop. I've heard all that stuff now. But I'm one that's in between. I want you to understand this. When I'm sitting in the room with those high politicians, with those high-ranking clergy, I got your back. When I'm sitting in the room, suited and booted, with those who are considered the most high, I'm not selling you out. When there are those that are talking about the tactics that you're using, you shouldn't be blocking traffic, you shouldn't be going to jail, you shouldn't be doing this, or you should be doing that, trust me, I'm sitting there with them for strategic purposes. But don't ever let nobody make you think I don't have your back. All power to the people.